So I just watched Aladdin today. It's like 1:30 p.m. So if you're hearing noises in the background, that's because people are going about the lunch. It's Sunday, of course. So I'm gonna try to like really give my opinion of the movie without spoiling it. But yeah, I'll try my best. Will be kind of edited my opinions since I have to check on my little list on things I want to talk about. But anyway, so here we go. Okay, so let's talk about the characters of the movie Aladdin, the live action version, of course. Um, Characters and the actors, to be precise. So, what can I say? The two main actors, the two lead actors, which is for Jasmine and Aladdin, alright, they are obviously fans of the original animated movie, as they are very close in mannerisms and the sound of the voices. It really portray a lot of what you see in an animated movie on screen live. So I mean, you could practically close your eyes. You can imagine as Aladdin and Jasmine from the animated series talking. And other than that, the supporting characters, which were really well portrayed, was Carpet. But then Carpet's Carpet, so I mean, how can you barely portray that? And it's a CGI character in this case. And Raja. Raja is more or less Raja. I mean, he didn't get very much also. Well, he didn't get very much characterization in the movie. So I mean, if you use the movie, not the series, the movie, and compare it to this live action take, it's basically a very good portrayal of him. Now, unfortunately, that's as far as it goes for characters, because after that, I'm gonna use some swear words, but it's a fucking shit fest after that. So now, bad character portrayals come in form of, very obviously, Genie by Will Smith. And I want to say I don't want to blame him for this, because I think the role that he accepted was not properly explained to him, and I think that was the casting director's fault and his agent's fault. They are both to blame for this poor performance, because they shouldn't have asked him to do this, and I think he couldn't turn it down because, you know, for either financial reasons or whatever. But I don't think he really could turn down the role, and I think it felt like it was really forced on him. Robin Williams' portrayal of Genie compared to Will Smith is similar to how shall I say it? A heavyweight prize fighter going for the championship in Vegas, whereas Will Smith is more like a guy in a dirty old gym fighting in the corner, shadow boxing in the corner. That's basically how I would summarize it. That's as that is that is basically it. It was so lackluster. It was unbelievable. It was like I said, it was like shadow boxing. He was like just going through the emotions. So like he looked He looked like what was more or less Robin Williams doing on. Well, not Robin Williams, but how Robin Williams spoke and how the character was animated in the original movie, and he kind of like tried to replicate that. And then what he couldn't replicate, he improvised. And oh my God, Will Smith cannot improvise one fucking bit. That was terrible. And I think because they knew that he couldn't, what's the word, carry Genie, the directors and the writers kind of like adapted a lot of the script just to fit Will Smith's acting style and limited scope of his abilities. And so that was him. Another bad character, and you got to remember, in the original Aladdin, you know, yes, Jasmine and Aladdin were the main characters, but the really what's the word for it? The characters that really were the ones that carried the original animated movie was actually Genie and Jafar. So in this case, Jafar here was also pretty really badly portrayed. I don't know how to explain to it, but if you okay, for this comparison, you could compare Jafar to the second in command of a terrorist, Islamic terrorist cell. That is basically how he looks and how he acts. He's he's not like the Jafar of the animated series. Not the animated series. Well, I mean the animated series also, but he's not the Jafar of the animated movie where Jafar there was portrayed as a very slick, smooth talker. A guy that can get things done, and he gets it done like oily, slick, smooth. He didn't stumble. Everything was snap, snap. When the situation changed, he spun on the spot. Pirouetted, and boom, he got things done. And but of course he had these tremendous faults in the original animated version, where he was very prideful. After he succeeded, he became very prideful. That's in the third act of the movie, where he takes over the kingdom. But this Jafar is he explains that he was originally a street rat like Aladdin. Oh fuck! I mean, I didn't mean to say that, but basically he just says, "Oh, I'm like you, I'm street smart and all that," and he doesn't act like that. He's like a fucking idiot. I mean, seriously, he acts like a fucking idiot. He is so unlikable that you can't even. It's not like he's so unlikable that you love to hate him. He's so unlikable that you just don't give a fuck no more. Fuck, I'm sorry. Anyway, that's how pissed off I am at the show. And then you got Yago, and holy crap, Jafar's psychic Yago, like that smart mouth parrot, that guy that really puts Jafar in his place and says all those great one-liners, and they animalized him. I think is the phrase. Yeah, they animalized him like he's like a goddamn stupid parrot. He sounds like someone imitating a parrot, and that's it. That's the scope of his character. It was so limited. It was so sad. And I like Iago. Iago was really funny. So I mean, there was Jafar psychic screwed, and then Abu was also animalized a lot. But Abu in the animated movie, Abu was like Aladdin's younger brother. He's a really younger brother. He was trying to that hang around him, and he was trying to keep him out of trouble. And he wants to also find his own kind of independence, and that's why he balks at some of Aladdin's orders or things. When Aladdin tells him to do stuff. That was Abu in the animated movie. In this one, Abu was also quite animalized. He did retain some aspects of Abu, but he was. You would say when you look at the live action, Abu's a monkey. Abu's not Abu. Abu is a monkey acting like Abu, and as opposed to the animated one where Abu is Abu. So there you have it. Any more bad characters? Oh yes. Oh jeez. Oh god. Okay, so I don't know whose fucking brain idea this was, but I presume it was an SGW. I think I believe this was some kind of SJW political move, but since Aladdin has his sidekick Abu, which is an animal sidekick Abu, which didn't really count, so it doesn't matter. But he had his sidekick Abu and he had his sidekick Genie to back him up. So they thought, that's unfair. Princess Jasmine should also have a person, a human character to back her up. So they gave her a handmaiden. And apparently, how are you gonna see it as anyway in the movie? Because you're gonna sure fucking watch this movie. And I will tell you right now, it's 6 out of 10. Genie actually ends up marrying her because he falls in love with her, but she's there to give Jasmine some social advice, and she's so out of place that she's like she's like the not so smart best friend in those teen movies, contemporary teen movies, which you expect like nowadays, those contemporary teen movies. She's just like so out of place. She's that type of person that gives that type of advice. And of course Jasmine has Roger as a psychic animal. So they try to balance it out because they felt it was unfair that she didn't have a psychic. Okay, so I'll cover that part. Now we're gonna go to another important aspect of the show before we go to story, because when I go to story I'm gonna be like so fucking pissed. But the other aspect of the show was the singing. Now I think 70% of the songs were spot on in terms of not maybe portrayal, but the songs that were sung by Aladdin and Jasmine in the live action were spot on. Same feeling, same characterization, mannerism, delivery, everything was there. It was beautiful. I won't say beautiful. Like you could sing along with it. And then you got Will Smith. And poor Will Smith, he is so out of scope. When he sings, it sounds like a hip hop artist trying to sing this type of like Broadway genre of music. You know, he can't hit the high notes. He's almost cracking at the high notes, and then most of the time his voice, you know, his delivery of his lyrics is so weak that the background instrumental sometimes drowns him out, where they have to swell the song, the chorus, and you can hear him getting drowned out slowly, and he's gone. No, it was like I said, he's agent and the fucking casting director. If they were not gonna find someone that could replicate the energy, the ferocity, you know, the incredible personality of Robin Williams, they should have delayed the movie. They shouldn't have made this movie. They should have waited until they found that right guy to do it, not try to cash in like some kind of cheap fuckers. Okay, so here comes the last part of this fucking rant. The story. The first act was enjoyable. Okay, I mean, it was slightly different, the introduction. Genie was telling his kids, yes, he has two kids, he's now human, he's not a genie, he doesn't have any more magic powers. When, unlike the original one where Aladdin frees him, he's still a magical being. In this case, from the looks of it, he's just a normal guy. He has two kids, he's married to the handmaiden of Jasmine. I can't remember the name. It's Delilah, I think. I can't remember. And or Daria, or like some kind of D name. And he brings the introduction, you know, the music, the opening song, introduction song for the show. And I'm sorry, you're really fucking pissed. And I'm saying too much but from that point you already can tell that his vocal scope, his vocal range is totally out of, you know, he can't do it. He really can't do it. And that sets you up. You really can feel that if he sings any more songs, you know it's going to be the disappointment. And then, okay. So, back to the story. The story is about 65 to 70% close. 65 to 70% of the original animated movie. And then the rest is all quite a lot of improvised stuff. And you could use excuses like they're trying to keep up with the times, you know, like the interpretation in the animated movie was not as accurate as it was as it was in those times. So maybe they tried to do that. I don't know. Some of the song and dance sequences with Aladdin and Jasmine, just with them, is all basically about like 85-90% of the original animated movie. But when you come to Will Smith, it goes off Keeter. It goes to whatever the fuck he wants to do, I guess, or whatever they feel that he can do. And yeah, that's about it. Oh yes, okay. So now I mean, in an older sense, it wouldn't make it such a bad movie. I would have given it maybe a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. But there are certain parts that really, really pissed me the fuck off. And one of the first parts, which I didn't like, was the prince that caught Jasmine. Alright, that was supposed to be an Arab guy, and what they did was they changed him into a white European with a fucking, I don't know what, Swedish Viking accent, and they made him like a fucking blithering idiot. He had these like honor guard there, all big beefy guys, and then the girls and Jasmine, especially Jasmine, has made it look like he's handsome, he's big, he's strong, and he's like a blithering fucking. He's like a fucking retard. He's like a retard in a 12-year-old with a 12-year-old mind. That's exactly what I would describe him. But you could almost, you know what? You could compare it to like what was that show again called? The one with Yakko, Wacko, and Gakko, whatever those thing. Looney Tunes. You know, Yakko, Wacko from Warner Brothers. Right, when they do a Swedish accent, you know, when they want to make fun of a Swedish or Norwegian guy who's fat and stupid and silly, right? He basically sounds just like that characterization which you have in that show. He sounds like some kind of fucking idiot. So, and of course, the lion attacks him. We don't get to see the part where the lion rips off the pants and he walks off angry. The lion just attacks him. You don't see what happens after that. Oh, not lion. Sorry, Joe. Roger. I mean tiger. My bad. I'm watching a lot of lion videos with my cat because she's recovering, so she needs something to entertain herself. So I mean tiger. So I mean that scene pissed me off because there's an SJW agenda where they're trying to show the white man is a fool and an idiot. White man in authority is a fool and idiot. It fucking pissed me off because why? I mean seriously, why? And then another part which actually pissed me off was, and this is the only song you'll notice. I mean, Will Smith sings really badly, and those songs like don't seem like connected. It's like disjointed from the movie, or from even the feel of Aladdin. But Jasmine will sing one feminist empowering song about not being kept silent, and she'll sing this twice. She'll sing this in the first act, and she'll sing it in the third act. And when she sings it, it's like some kind of modern. I don't know how to explain. It's like some kind of modern pop thing, and it's like so out of place. And she sings it, and there's no rhythm and anything, and it's just basically a speech turned into a song. That's what it was, and it's like there was no point of that. Really, everyone knew Jasmine was a strong character. You watched the original animated movie; she's a strong character. This movie can show her that she's a strong character. She wanted to get out. She escaped the palace, go see the people. That already tells you that you don't need her to fucking sing a song to say she's a strong character. Aladdin sings a lot of his songs because he's goddamn insecure. Jasmine is not supposed to be insecure. That's why Aladdin sings, because he's insecure. It explains you his insecurities. Jasmine should not have any insecurities. Alright, she's supposed to be the strong character, the one that, Aladdin can fall back on her and trust her and all that. I mean, you look at her times like, he says, "Do you trust me?" And she lets out her hand and says, "Yeah." Like he says, "Oh, God, yeah, someone just finally trusts me, takes me at what I am." And like, that's a strong, silent character. You didn't need her to fucking sing anything. And the reason why she sang her song is because Jafar tells her, women are supposed to be seen and not heard, which is kind of funny because actually because that's a phrase we use for little kids, and the original Jasmine character was 14 years old in the animated series. So I don't know. It's like, oh yes, there is also another song which another musical scene which also pissed me off. Now when I watched the trailer and I saw the costumes for the first time, I said like, those look like Indian costumes, like something which Bollywood people wear. Especially for Jasmine, she really looked like she was wearing a kind of like a Bollywood traditional outfit, and I thought, then I went and watched the movie, and I thought, okay, maybe at that time period they actually were wearing that. Then there's this one scene where Aladdin tries to impress Jasmine, and he does this dance number, with the help of Genie directing him. He does a dance number, and they do a goddamn Bollywood dance. They fucking do a fucking Bollywood dance. I'm thinking like, what in the fuck am I watching? They're playing kind of like Arabic music and then doing a Bollywood dance. I don't know. And then of course Aladdin goes into a Russian dance, the high kicks, And I'm thinking like, what the fuck is this with diversity stuff? This is Aladdin. We're in Arabia. We don't need to see diversity, right? It's like what they were trying to do to Witcher when they were trying to get a black character to play the daughter. I think is it the daughter or the wife? It's like there's no black people in Norway. So I mean, at that time, all right, who were as the Witcher story was based on, they were all whites. So why the fuck are you trying to force diversity in a situation where they're all Arabs? Why the fuck is there a white guy there? Why the fuck is there Bollywood costumes there? Why the fuck are they doing a Bollywood dance? Why the fuck is Aladdin doing a Russian dance? I'll give it away. That part, because he's controlled by the genie, I'll allow it. But Jasmine was doing the Bollywood dance. Okay, and that really pissed me off, because that means that confirmed it. Like I said, they didn't want her to wear the Arabic, the traditional Arabic thing, because maybe that's too sexy, that sexualizes her. They just put her in a Bollywood thing with the pants and the skirt around it, and I thought like, okay, fine, whatever. You want to be a little bit sensitive? Okay, I'll give you that much. And yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, in the end they had a special end credit scene where the genie was saying, never met a guy like me, never met a friend like me, and yeah, It's like the final curtain call where all the cast can come and do whatever the dance they want to do while he sings a number, when he sings that song, that number, and they just do whatever fucking dance they want to do. It's like to show like they're all cool and relaxed, and this is a great movie to act on, to be in. The filming was fun, everything was fun. I mean, whatever, you know. I don't know what kind of stupid message that was going to send, but there you go. All right, so anyway, that's the end of my rant. This is IKQ signing off.